Busybody. Hey, I know. Busybody.
57, right?
57. 57. 57.
57.
Look at yourself up there, DeeJenay. Look at yourself up there. That's a good Wi-Fi. That's a good Wi-Fi.
Got me on the spotlight.
That's right.
Hey.
Get a little come up from the other side of things tonight.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to be a great one tonight. Great one tonight.
Yeah.
Great one tonight. Welcome to another episode of Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 57. And of course, we always have special guests, but this is a little bit more special than special. You know what I'm saying? This is DeeJenay, Danielle DeeJenay Jackson. And I ain't finna go in all them intros and all that. I'm gonna let her tell you that's right with two ends. She made sure nigga knew too, goddamn. She was like, it's beautiful, but you're missing the end. Yeah, man, and that's my homie over there, Sammy No Nose, and I'm comedian narrator, haircut Schwanger Benny Mac, and we're about to definitely get into this thing. We're gonna stop the music and take this It just probably they on.
We don't own the rights to the music in this video.
Yeah, that shit don't work.
Sometimes it don't. You like, damn, I know I said it.
It don't matter. You gotta write it.
Yeah. Let me put that on
You
here.
got mine that's on, right?
Oh yeah, I tell you what.
Right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. What up, DeeJenay? What's happening?
Not a
Going
thing.
on.
Hey.
We appreciate you getting on out here with them Zeta Betas in the sky, blowing stuff away. We appreciate you coming on through.
You know, no doubt.
Oh,
You
yeah.
asked me and I came.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'm talking about. Asking it should be given to you. Seeking you shall find. That's about one of the 4 Bible scriptures I know. One of the 4 I know.
Look, do you think you said it right just then?
Hold on. Asking it shall be given to you. Seeking ye shall find. Matthew 7:7.
All right. Well,
That's
you
right.
in
If
there.
I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. And I'll come to your church, I promise.
That's right.
That's right. But yeah, what's going on? There's a lot going on out here. You got the election coming up. You got, you got the virus still in the air, as they say. We got a lot going on. What's going on with this election? Trump getting back in now?
I don't know. You already know that. I can't get into that.
Well, I mean, no, I ain't saying he actually doing it. It's just where you seeing it's going. They saying they got record turnout with the turnout and all that, but
You already know I can't get into that.
Don't get into it now, cause them folks going crazy about this, man. I didn't seen folks fighting, folks fussing, folks debating about it. But me, I'm gonna do like that pastor said. They called him to the station. I'm voting for Jesus. That's a good way not to answer your ass.
Well, that's a good way, and that's a good man to vote for.
Yeah, hey, vote for him. Only if he can show up in a suit. We'll take him. We'll take him. We shall take him.
I missed the birthday band myself, hey.
You did.
Yeah.
You missed one.
Put
Talking
a
about Trump,
birthday
them.
bashes now. Put a ashes.
It was some. It was a birthday
bashes.
bash.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was. I had already.
Where the S come from?
It was multiple days.
she
Okay,
did
it
that.
was must be birthday that night.
No,
They
you
did
missed
about
it.
2 weeks worth of party.
Okay.
She had a party at the house, a party at the
Okay,
work.
the bash is. Okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those things that this year was very special. You know, so I felt like I just had to celebrate. You know what I mean? Everybody say 40 is the big birthday
The
bash, milestone, but who knows if you're gonna make it to 40? So I just wanted to celebrate. I had a lot to celebrate for, so I celebrated. I lived life. So.
Got to celebrate going out them 30s. Just
No, hold on. Now. I ain't going out the 30s yet. Now.
Not
Hold
yet.
on.
Not yet. You ain't close.
Not yet.
Nah,
Yeah.
Well, hey, all of that fun. You got to make fun of all of them. All of them, they own individual days and years. So I enjoy every day of my life, let alone the birthday week or 2 weeks
Absolutely.
or a month.
Absolutely. You
So,
have
you know.
to. You have
Ain't no
to.
other way to look at that.
Right.
Yeah, well, hey, one thing I learned, I try to celebrate every year because there's a whole bunch of folk woke up dead. And
That's
wish
true.
Wish they had that just
And
another day.
And that's every morning.
No, for real. So
Right,
you
every
got to
day.
celebrate it. You got to celebrate it. Now, some people say some people party too much or kick it too much, but I don't think you can kick it enough.
That's
I
true.
don't think you can kick it enough. If you got the means to do it, you should kick it as much as thine pleaseth.
Yeah,
You should.
I think
Live
that's our
life.
original state,
Live life to your fullest.
Working just part of this stuff. You
Right.
gotta enjoy it.
Right,
The
that's
rest
true.
of it, you know what I'm saying?
You can work.
Working to get the budget to play.
Right.
That's what it's for.
That's true.
Yes, sir. How you want to.
Right.
At the end of the day. Y'all enjoy it?
What up, Herman? What up, man? What's happening with you? Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about you. What you want us to hear, what you want people to know. We know you Danielle with the 2 N's, DeeJenay Jackson. Like I said, one thing I know about you, I know you're a cool person. I ain't been knowing you long, but you know you can meet a person and get good vibes off the top, or you can get bad vibes off
Right,
the top. Ever since I met you, you've been all right with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you want us to know about you? What you got going on?
Well, everybody know, where DeeJenay kind of originated from, right?
But you pulled it out.
Oh, come on now.
Let me lean back.
Cut it out.
Around,
No. Well, everybody know, everything's kind of centered around the traffic stop itself. Yesterday was my court date. So I went and represented myself. And, it was, I will say it was a...
Represent yourself. That's interesting.
It was... Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
All right,
I
let's
wanna
talk
hear
about
that.
why I represented myself. I represented myself because, there are a lot of attorneys that said, hey, by the time you paid me to represent you, the fees would what? Just overcome the amount that the tickets would be anyway, right? Or worth, right? Let's just be real. So, I knew that I wasn't guilty of what I was being charged with. So therefore, I went and I represented myself in court. And when I was asked, what am I pleading? And I'm going to back up just a little bit, all right? I was in court with criminals. And it made me feel some kind of way. It really did. I have never been arrested for anything. And I'm not belittling anybody that has. But I have never been in any form, shape, form, or fashion trouble in my life.
Just good trouble.
Right, good trouble.
Good trouble.
Right.
Okay, good trouble.
Now,
Okay,
I
good trouble.
will say, this trouble that I'm in now, it is some good trouble.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? And then y'all see that face came back.
Okay.
Okay, it is some good trouble, but I have never been in the system in any kind of way. So being there yesterday and hearing everybody's reasons, their charges, etc., it did make me feel some kind of way. But I, just like I told everybody, I'm gonna walk in there with dignity and pride and professionalism, and I did. And when they called my name, I stood up there to the podium, and he read off, "You are here. You are being charged with following too close and texting and driving. How do you plead?" I said, "Not guilty, sir." So then they pushed my court date off into January. So with that being said, it really was a blessing because I thought I was prepared yesterday. When I look back, I was halfway prepared. But then there were some things that were revealed to me at the time, and that, because you got to think, from July the 31st, that was a traumatizing day for me. So a lot going on, right? But then after yesterday,
That's when it all happened, July 31st.
that's when it all happened. And after that day and after court yesterday, I had a time to kind of take a deep breath, step back a little bit. And there were some things that were just, man, do this, do that, do that. I've got a lot of experience. I've been in the courtroom a lot. I've been on the civil side. I've been on the criminal side. You know, and with that being said, it just allowed me to see some things that I did not see prior to yesterday.
Stood in
So-
some different shoes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Different.
And I will still represent myself. And when I go represent myself, they're going to ask me what law school I've been to. And I ain't been to nobody's. But it goes back to standing for what is right. I'm not... Have I ever got a ticket before? Yes, I have. You know, I've gotten a ticket before. I've been stopped and got a ticket before. And I was guilty. And guess what I did? I paid that ticket. Because I knew I was guilty. I didn't have to go to court. I didn't have to go in the courtroom and see the judge or anything like that because I knew I was guilty. I knew I was wrong, and I paid it.
You ain't
But
protest to keep it off your insurance?
No, because I knew I was wrong.
I'm about that life. I ain't gonna lie to you. But go ahead with your story.
But I knew I was wrong. I knew I was wrong, and because I was wrong, I went on and paid the citation and moved on. But this is a different situation. I'm not pleading to anything that I'm not that I did not do.
And you should
And that I'm guilty of. So I'll walk the walk. I do what I need to do, and I will do that.
No, that's what's up. And you should, though, because one thing about it, I don't believe nothing happened by mistake.
I agree.
And by you being in the position you in, and then turn around and got to be in the position to have to defend it, is good. I think you're being used as a vessel.
Right. Well, you know what?
Being used as a vessel. Let them use you.
That's right. You know what? The funny thing about it is this. I received so many messages, so many DMs, messages, and people just tell me, man, you just inspired me. You know, I needed to hear that today. I needed to see that today, and et cetera. And it's still mind-blowing to me because I'm just being who I am. Nothing has changed about me, not in no kind of way. And the people that grew up with me, the people that went to school with me, and people that has known me for years know this is just who I am. And it's mind-boggling, but at the same time, it's gratifying at the same time. You know what I mean? To hear people to say, you know what? You motivate me. You encourage me in more ways than you can imagine. And that's a beautiful thing. That means more to me than anything.
Solidify everything that you're speaking for and doing.
Right.
And like I remember the situation when it went viral and you
Right.
you all over the internet speaking on it. And I remember we were talking about it when you were in the shop getting your hair cut one day.
Right.
Why you think, you know, it was a traffic stop, highway patrolman, sheriff, or local policeman?
It was local policeman.
Okay. Why you feel that? Why you feel you were stopped that day, or were you say you weren't doing what he was doing? You know, when you went and you weren't doing what he said you were doing.
Right.
When you went and represented yourself. Why you feel like he stopped you then?
Well, you know, the thing about it is, racial profiling with me, it didn't just start with that traffic stop. It has happened to me several times, and I'm going to speak on my behalf. Not what I've heard, not what nobody has told me. I'm speaking on my behalf. I have always drove a nice vehicle from 16 all the way up. You know, I've always been fortunate enough to have a very nice vehicle. And so I'm used to being stopped
For nothing.
because I'm in a nice vehicle or in an area or things of that nature. And then it's like, oh, it's almost like a shock that a female's driving the car. And then the disposition changes. And then you go on your way. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's saddening. But I know why I was stopped that day. You know, but on a bigger note, I was stopped that day for a bigger cause and for a bigger reason. And there's no doubt in my mind that I don't believe that.
Well, that's right. You always have to look at it on the optimistic side. A lot of people get situations thrown at them and they don't know how to handle it.
Right.
Or they don't follow through, which means it allows other people to continue to deal with the same thing. Somebody
Right.
got to stand up for it. So.
Right.
And speaking from her standpoint, it's big. You know, being a law enforcer and, you know, having to be on the other side, like I said, standing in those other shoes.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I believe in right. I believe in just doing the right thing. I have never, in no point in time since my traffic stop, since my videos, have I spoke anything against anybody. All I have ever spoke was positivity. All I have ever spoke was change and just bringing people together, because I do believe that love is a powerful thing.
It is.
You know what I mean? Hate is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
We know what hate can do. Hate can destroy a lot of things, but I believe that love is
Destroy a whole society.
exactly. I believe that love is a powerful thing, and positivity is a positive thing. That's why I say what I say. Change starts within. Change your mind, change your heart, change along with positivity equals progression. That's why I say what I say about that. I have never, at no point, initiated anything negative.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't realize that you are what you speak.
Right.
So with what you got going on, if you go to speaking negative, shit can flip on you.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't realize, because see, now you have multiple things to defend.
That's right.
They wait on the end of the thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and they watching. Believe
That's
that,
right.
they
That's
watching
right.
you.
That's right.
Just to see how it's gonna turn out, so they can use whatever they can and will
And that's
against
right.
you in
And-
the court of
Right.
law.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. But one thing I do know is this: that man, the man,
Yeah.
the only man,
He presiding now.
Benny
told
Mac.
me.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wait.
You ain't
Okay,
gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me.
let's get comical right now. When I was
All right.
look, when I was in the studio, you said, "How did he speak to me?"
No?
When you said when the Lord spoke to me, you said, "How did he speak to me?" What tone did he say?
Was it, hey, he speak to you like a pimp.
I said, "No."
Hey.
I said, "Benny, he didn't speak to me like
He
that."
speak, okay.
No, I said, "No, Jesus, he ain't got that deep, heavy voice like that. Now he didn't speak to me like that."
DeeJenay, what it do?
Listen, y'all. This is in the comedy light. This is a comedian, so we gonna we gonna twist it up. We gonna loosen up. But if y'all would have saw the very first show, they would have saw how you said how God spoke to me. You came in with the bear white.
Because see, one thing I look at with everything, good or bad, that people say God made us in the image of Him. So if you don't think God be around here cracking and looking, be like, look, I told him the truth. Boy, I tell you. Go on, call him up here. Call him home. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to.
Call heaven on him.
Yeah, call heaven on him. I try to look at it in an optimistic light. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta laugh.
Yeah,
You gotta laugh. If you don't laugh
better
and
laugh.
get it out, you will burst.
That's the best thing.
You'll be around here looking crazy and acting crazy, you know. But all I can say is He's leading me on the journey.
So
And,
more is coming from just that original stand, from the stop and what's going on with that. You got more speaking engagements, or
Well, actually,
what type of
actually,
goings on?
you know what? I am so proud of what I have done, just as in general, and I'm gonna break it all the way down, y'all. It's the little things that mean so much to me. I had the opportunity when I was in Mobile, Alabama. When my video went viral, this little girl's mother reached out to me. Mm-hmm. She sent a picture of her daughter and said she wants to be a police one day. Never in a million years I thought I would meet him. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I posted I was in Mobile and her mother reached out to me. And I said, you know what? I'm in my room relaxing, something I never get to do. But you know what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to meet your baby. And that's what I did. I got up and went to the park and I met her daughter. And man, such an intelligent young little girl. And I told her, I said, I want you to go higher than me. Fly high. I said, but I made her stick her pinky out. She gave me my pinky. We hooked pinkies. And I told her, I said, you promised me one thing. I said, it's a pinky swear. I said, when you go into law enforcement, you do the right thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then, I've had and I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking about some things that didn't just blow up on Facebook. I'm talking about some things that mean more to me.
Gratifying.
Right. That's where my satisfaction comes from. I had a mother reach out to me And she said, my son, man, I give up. I don't know what to do. She said, you may not see my message. I know you're receiving all kind of messages, but can you help me? And we sent some messages. I said, well, can you make sure it's okay with him? Ask him, do he want to speak with me? She said, he does. And we had a talk. And when I tell y'all, this is the God honest truth, this young man has changed. He passed all his exams. His mother can't believe the child that he is now. So that means more to me than anything. And I take pride in that. But not only do I take pride in that, I thank God that I'm using what he gave me. And that is to mentor to kids. And that's something that I love to do. But then we take things to another note. I did have the ability and the chance to be on the biggest gospel channel in the UK. And that will be airing soon. And it was a pleasure. You know, they asked me about my faith and my belief in God and things of that nature. And that was, and then they asked me, what would you tell anybody that choose to go into law enforcement? What would you tell them?
Now that's an interesting question, because right now law enforcement ain't looked at in the greatest light.
Right.
You know,
that's true.
Because to me, I think law enforcement is needed, whether people want to holler at it or not.
That's
You
true.
don't want to see a world without it.
No,
That's
you
true.
don't want to
That's
see
true.
it, because you know it's been created with a bunch of bad, so some got to combat it.
Right.
Is that right?
But you know, but at the same time, you know, I think a lot of the great officers, I ain't gonna say good, great officers get mixed up in the bad.
I agree.
Just like anybody else, you know, if you rolling with them, you a part of it.
Right.
So that is a good question. What would you tell a person who want to get in law enforcement now, who got a negative view on how it operates? What would you tell them?
What I say to you is, don't get into this profession. And y'all know I ain't looked at this camera since we started, but this is deep to me. Don't get into this career. Don't get into this profession if it's any other reason than to help. Okay? Because there will be times that you do take people to jail, but the majority of the time is what you don't see, that you are helping, you are aiding. Running and gunning, taking people to jail, chasing, that's not the majority of the time. That's the less amount of time. So don't get into this career. Don't choose this career if your heart is not in it. If you're not going to do the right thing, don't get into this career. It's too many people. It's a lot more good people than bad. I understand that you see, and what you see, it seems like the world is made up of bad people. But there are much more great people and good people in this world than bad. So if you're not going to do the right thing, don't get into this career. And just like I told that little girl, do the right thing. Always do the right thing. Be real and honest, man. You know, because it's one of those things that I can remember a lot of my calls I went on. And I had to, me being young, you know, young black female, going on calls with people are the age of my parents, having to mediate, bring them together, give them some words. You got to be willing to do that. Is that not being a counselor?
Yeah.
Is that not being a helper? It's not all about taking somebody to jail. It's about the words that you say. And if you're not ready to do that, then don't take the job.
What was the age you got into law enforcement? Now,
That-
now that's $1 million question. Like, what age? Cause I mean,
Hey,
you're
you
young
tried.
now. What age
Thank
did you
you.
get in
Thank
law?
you. I was 22 years old.
22. Oh yeah, you sounded your Lord and called you himself. He beeped you. He beeped you and told you to get in.
And
Because
you-
22,
Right.
that wouldn't even cross my mind.
Right.
I wasn't
time
hard
to
head,
go
but
in,
I wasn't to obey too many
She
traffic
said
laws.
22
Right.
years ago.
20,
she
I
said
was 22
22
years old. at
Oh,
the
oh,
time.
you were 20. Okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
22
15
years
years.
old, I just
15
something else.
years ago, but I was
Correct.
22
Okay.
years old.
Yeah, so what made you get into law enforcement? Because at 22, most people, they clubbing, they kicking it.
Right.
They doing all the stuff that young people do. What made you want to get into law enforcement?
Well, first of all, you know, hey, my daddy didn't play. You know, I was a little bit different. You know, I'm one of those kids, believe it or not, on senior skip day, I was the only senior at school. Senior class. Ask my teachers.
Man,
Listen, I was the only, and the teacher said, why are you here? I was like, I can go? She said yes. I was like, okay, because my daddy didn't
Had to
play.
get the permission, yeah.
That's right. My daddy didn't play. You know, he didn't play with any of us. And you know what?
I ain't calm.
You know, but I must say, you know, I was raised. My daddy, he didn't play with us, but he raised us right, and all four of us are making my parents proud. You know, and
What they want to see.
that's right. And you know, I went into law enforcement. I always have had that caring heart. I've always wanted to help. And originally, I thought nurses, because what nurses do? They help everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But then I quickly realized that I got a weak stomach. And I said, that ain't for me, right?
Good.
And then I know everybody's like, well, law enforcement, you know, you see some. And guess what? I prayed every day, Lord, don't let me see nothing
Let me see
nasty.
that, yeah. Let me see all the regular. Let me see the regular stuff.
Listen, but I maneuvered through some of the crazy times because there were some instances where there was some nasty situations. People been dead 2-3 weeks, and I was able to finesse my coworker to say, "Hey, don't you want to go in there and make sure it's all right?" But
Get out of it.
right. But you know, but I've always loved to help people. I've always had a big heart, and that's how the confirmation for me in my life right now is just being confirmed that things are on a much bigger level now, and I'm helping people all over this world in some shape, form, or fashion. That's how I know I'm going down the right path and the right journey.
Okay. Now, for those that don't know, if you want to discuss it, what actually happened to you?
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever happened to you, you know, give as much as you can without, you know what I'm saying, jeopardizing
brief it out.
the case. Just, you know what I'm saying? Give them a brief synopsis on what happened.
well, just a little brief
Yeah,
synopsis.
just a little tincture. That's all.
Right.
Just
Well,
tincture.
I was traveling to work. Like I do 5 days a week. I travel to Huntsville. I was stopped, unlawfully stopped, because when you don't have probable cause to stop someone, then it becomes unlawfully. It's an unlawful stop. I've been doing this a long time. I know the law. I know the law on both levels, and I had a few instances coming through that area, and I was stopped, and I wasn't treated fairly. I was belittled. I was double teamed. I was harassed.
So when you say a few instances, was those other stops or just
It was another stop and
harassment?
some following through the area as well, to the extent that I was actually looking at homes in this particular area, and we're gonna leave it at that, to make me reconsider. Okay, and say that's not the area for me. Let me just look elsewhere to buy a home and to educate my son and put him in the school system. So this is July the 31st, and that's a day I will never forget. I'm a very educated woman. I abide by the laws, and if I break the law, then you give me a ticket, and I'll pay that ticket. I have never thought that I was better than anybody else. I have never thought that I was above anybody else. I'm just strictly trying to drive this hour and 40 minutes to work. And I was given a citation for driving or following too close. And I was also given a citation for texting and driving.
I just say, he was off in a big truck on the side of us doing this here the whole time.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, for some of those charges, it just really sounds crazy when you hear it, because texting and driving, most of the time you got to be on the side and actually looking to witness that. Following too closely,
you got, hey, well,
that's
well, I ain't gonna listen. It's almost like we playing spades right now. I ain't gonna show my hand.
yeah, I know.
Because I know some people are watching right now, so we ain't going to get into that. But that's a very good point. You do have to know what somebody is doing.
That's amazing.
But
specified texting?
well, initially I was told that I was on the phone. So I had my phone to my ear. So I argued that point, and then it later came back. Well, no, you were texting and driving.
Switch it up.
Yeah,
Switch
switch
it
it
up.
up just like that.
Well, we all know
Yeah.
it's 2020.
Ain't no secret.
Cell phone, what is it, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, all them. They got what they got, Boost. What's the other one they got?
Cricket.
They got all kind of stuff.
Get my boys a
So with
cricket.
that being said, we're gonna leave that at that too. But that day I'll never forget. I will stand for what's right. I would do nothing less than that. I know personally why I would stop. But I will go my trial date, and I will represent myself to the best of my ability. What happens, happens. But I will stand proud.
It's gonna turn out in your favor, because one thing about it, when you do right, that seems like that's one of the hardest decisions in the world to make, because it always seems so much tougher.
Right?
But if you can just peep over that little embankment,
Right.
it's always light.
Right.
So,
it's
yeah,
always light at the
it's
end of
always
the
gonna
tunnel.
be light.
Let's get into that. Light at the end of the tunnel.
Come on with it.
You know, yeah.
Light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody that follow me, everybody that support me, know that I'm always gonna give you some words of encouragement. It may seem so dark, it may seem so glim, and you may not. Man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all a little part of something.
Tell them Eastside. Come on, Eastside.
With the beginning of the hardest thing that I ever went through in my life that took place for 3 years, on the day that I thought I was gonna die, when I heard what I heard, do you know what I saw? What y'all think I saw? I saw a rainbow. On the day that was the hardest day of my life. I was sitting there talking to my nephew all the way in El Paso, Texas, 18 and a half hours away from Birmingham. And I said, DJ. And I'm talking to him, and I'm looking at the sky, and a rainbow appeared. What you think that rainbow was? That's hope.
There you a little sign, huh?
That's hope. That was nothing but God saying, I got you. I got you. That's that light at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of people go through things, and it could be so much worse. My situation could be much worse. It could have been shot. They could have locked me up. It could have went a toe-to-toe, law enforcement on law enforcement. Because guess what? I got knowledge, and I got folks that did told me about those instances as well. It could have went to that extent.
Some of
So
them
it
got
could
ways of escalating shit.
right. It could have went worse, right? But it didn't. With that being said, there's always hope at the end and light at the end of the tunnel. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you sure right about that. A lot of people just don't be willing to take that journey though.
Yeah.
A lot of people normally stop in the middle of the race, and they never get an opportunity to see what that light is. They see a light, but most of them don't be willing to
You
walk
turn
to it.
dog though
Yeah.
before they get there.
Because of the stuff that's challenging in between it. Because, you know, what they say, God will bring you to it and bring you through it.
That's
He
a
ain't
fact.
never said wasn't going to be no trouble along the way.
That's a
He ain't
fact.
never tell you that now.
That's a fact. And I'm a living witness of that. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all think that video went viral. Wait till that testimony. And I'm just waiting. And God, he's kind of nudging at me a little bit, saying, "Hey, come on with it." But when that time come, and that brings me back. Y'all did ask me about some things that I've done, and I told y'all about the UK. But on November the 7th, I will be a part of the women's conference. Okay, that's on November the 7th. So I'm excited about that. They've reached out to me, and they want me to bring it in a little bit.
Well,
It's gonna be held here.
Now I know
Yes,
it's a women's coming, but I might have to come in there with a suit on.
Well,
security. I just stand at the door.
Well, it's gonna be all. It's gonna be Zoom.
Women's with an S.
Right. It's going to be Zoom though. It's going to be Zoom. So, you know, check my page out. It's on there. So I'm excited about that because it doesn't matter what I do. I never leave God out of whatever I do. He didn't brought me this far. I would never If somebody came to me and say, I give you this, but you can't say this negative. And he know that. That's why he got me like that. That's why he talked to me the way he talked to me. You know what I mean? So
Good to have that relationship.
that's right. It's a whole nother relationship. It's a whole nother league.
It's time for change, for real.
It is. It's
You
here.
know,
It's
I
here.
know we've been living in a world, like I was telling some people about prison. I made a video saying that Trump the best thing that ever happened to this country, and I didn't mean because that's my partner. None. I
Right.
was just saying that you got to look at all the stuff that came out good with people linking up, people doing more business. You see food trucks popping up everywhere. You see people, even if they haven't worked together, they at least opening up for the conversation because
Right.
they see that we got a real live nemesis in front of us. Yeah. Not because I like him personally, it's because he's in there. Ain't shit we can do about that. But do what we're supposed to do. So I try to look at everything on the optimistic side. So that right there is one of those things that is like, man, whoever wins, I just hope we stay on path and what we really supposed to be. Because one thing about it, and this is just my opinion, black people the shit, we just can't smell it. Everybody take advantage of what we got except us. Now I'm not saying none of us take advantage of it.
That's right.
But it can
You
be
saying
way
as a
more.
whole, as a whole,
But it
as
can
a
be
whole.
way more to take advantage. So I embrace all of the triumph, the tragedies and stuff that come about because ultimately God got the last say so.
That's right.
We can't take or give like we can't do nothing but live it. So yeah, so embrace all the stuff that come to you.
That's right. That's right.
Embrace it.
Yeah. We can only wish that that all officers that we come encounter with, or that we don't come encounter with,
Right.
have the heart that you speak from and,
Right.
and talking about that you have. But especially when you're standing on truth
Right.
in what you do,
Right.
and inspiring younger people to follow in your
That's
footsteps,
right. Do the right
and
thing.
doing truth in such a hard spot, and with so much adversity
And say that again.
and
Say
you-
that word again.
adversity.
There you go.
And then you're in there, you in a place where it's dangerous to be totally truthful about stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
For real.
With all kind of codes that rumors to be going on, and you can't say this and don't do this, and we can only wish that we had officers, with the heart that you have.
Right.
And I think it should be more officers in our areas from our demographic, so
Right.
that we can have that aspect of officer and citizen relationship, just like they have in over the hill towns. The quarterback from high school, the chief of police, and everybody know each other, and they deal with each other in a whole different way. Like you said, it's not all about shoot and chase and
Right,
arrest.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
It is a
It's
relationship.
about a relationship with the
It
citizen.
is. It is.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that it is a relationship, and I use the same example that I use here tonight as I have used on other platforms and interviews that I've had. If we're married and you betray my trust, you step out on me, I'm not gonna trust you. I'm not gonna believe you. I'm not gonna want you around. I'm not gonna want any part of you. Right? Is that not a fact?
Once trust is betrayed,
Right.
it gets rocked.
So whose responsibility is it when trust is betrayed? You betrayed the trust. So what you got to do? You got to
You gotta
work.
be the one to get it-
He's
get it
got
right.
to be the one to work to get it back.
Get it back.
You understand
right.
what I'm saying? So it's deeper. There is a relationship that needs to be formed again.
That's right.
I remember being a little girl. I remember being in elementary school when we had to dare and they come to the school and they had to, man, I mean the
remember
little
them
card, man, all of that.
They have
Larry
truant
Light.
officers,
Well,
all that.
Larry Light.
I remember all of that. I
Think they
remember.
still do.
I mean, I'm serious. I remember all of that and running up to the when you saw a police car, man, you flagged the police
That's the
down.
police.
Right.
Yeah.
We gotta get back to that.
It was a whole different level of respect. But like you
Right.
said, some of the violations and atrocities that have taken place over the last 2 decades, it make it hard for people to trust them.
Right.
And then one thing about it, I'm old enough to realize that all police ain't bad, just
That's
like
right.
all of them ain't good. But
Right.
they market the bad way more than they do the good.
That-
'Cause
now
like you
that I
said,
agree.
The
Just like
good
inside,
story,
yo.
you ain't gonna hear the good story. You'll
Right.
hear bits and pieces.
Right.
You know,
That's
like
true.
like Good in the Hood on V94.9 every morning
Right,
at
right.
6:15, 8:15. You hear that. But overall, they market the bad. It's almost
Right.
like somebody wants us to be in this rat race.
Somebody
That's
want
right.
it, bro.
That's right. That's right. Now that's true.
Because crime do pay. For
That's
somebody.
right. That's right. I agree.
Somebody.
Gotta break it with love, like you said earlier.
Love, man, love.
That hate about it. Though.
Love. You know what? That's one of my favorite songs by Music Soul Child. Love, cause it's deep, man. You can't do anything without love. You got a grudge in your heart. You got hate in your heart. You got animosity in your heart. You got whatever it is in your heart. You're not gonna be successful. Whatever you're trying to do, or if you're trying to bring, it's not gonna work. You gotta have that love.
All right. We're sitting here with Danielle DeeJenay Jackson. I'm back to you, DeeJenay.
Episode 57.
That's
Barbershop
right. Episode
Story.
57. Now I'm back to you,
Classic.
DeeJenay.
Classic.
That's right.
Well,
So, well, Danielle, we ain't gonna hold you up too long. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to ask you this though: with all that has happened to you, all that you experienced, the people you done talked to, and the inspiration you've been on others, what ultimately do you hope to see come from all of this?
man,
Now that's $1 million question.
it is.
Yeah, it is.
I
What do
won't
you hope to see?
change. You won't change. You won't change.
Simple as that.
The world won't change.
Simple as that.
Equality, justice, fairness. It's simple. It's just that simple. Not better than, not promoted ahead. Equality, justice, kindness, respect. That's it.
Why it's so hard for some people to do?
It's just that simple. But one thing that don't
They
happen.
ain't got that love.
Yeah.
That's right.
They got that hate.
That's right.
Might not have never
It
got
ain't.
it. Though.
It ain't the love. It's the hate. But I will tell you this: change won't happen overnight.
That's right.
But I will say that the messages I receive, and that, man, I get messages from Caucasians that said, and this one here touched me. He said, something about you. He said, I have black friends, and I ain't never been racist, and they tell me all the time that I don't understand how they feel. But he's saying, watching you just make me feel I got to do something. I can't just listen anymore.
go.
I got to be active.
That's what it does.
Is that not change?
That's what it does.
Yeah.
I received a message in my DM from a friend in Kansas in a predominantly white academy. They're playing my video in the civil liability course. That's change.
That's
right.
right.
So it's not
Big
gonna
time.
be night and day, but that's change.
It's a start.
It's a start.
There
I
was
had
course in a police academy.
that's a
They running that
change.
video, y'all.
I had an
gotta
older white lady
check
come
that
up to
video out if
me
you ain't seen it.
and said, "Oh my God, I saw your video. That was wrong."
Yeah.
And my coworker was playing, and he said, "Well, she's a celebrity. She giving autographs." I said, "No, because I don't. You know how I feel about that." I said, "No, but I give you a hug." And that lady hugged my neck.
Again, I hood like that.
I give a hug.
I
Now.
get a hug.
I ain't giving no autographs because
hug.
you know I don't like that. You know I don't like that famous stuff and that celebrity stuff because that ain't me. That ain't my personality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But change is here. It's going to take time, but we are making steps.
Yeah.
All right, and that's the most important thing. You know, we are moving. All right, the train. Think about it now. When the train leave the station, it don't just take off like boom. It's slow. It's real slow, ain't it?
Wheels up.
It's a choo 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 choo. It's a real, and it may get set about a mile or two before it actually pick up speed, right? Because it's carrying a load.
That's right.
Thing get strong.
That's right.
Then it gets strong.
And then everybody don't get it at the same time.
That's right.
You know, some people don't like you. I don't care how great you are.
Right.
But eventually, with all that love being shown, it's like, you know what? She
It'll rub
alright.
off. It'll rub
But
off.
and it's about being consistent too. So
That's
you're
right.
right, it don't change overnight, but it will change.
Yeah.
And if you look at the world, like if anybody who understands history for real, nothing changes quickly. You watch it progress. Now it look quick because we're in 2020 and we look at shit that happened in 1800, now it's 2020.
Right.
But imagine a nigga in 1820 that watched they had to go from 21, 22, 23. It takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time. But I'm glad to know you, and I'm glad that you was chosen for this challenge, Because it is a challenge, you know,
It is.
because I'm sure as time progresses and as change start coming, everybody ain't gonna like what you're doing.
That's
seem
a
pretty,
fact.
but you seem pretty passionate about what you're doing, and you know I hope the best for you, and I hope that with all your endeavors and all the speaking and talking and preaching and crying and hugging, actually touch folks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And touch the people you reach and help them be able to touch folks. And then shit, when we get 20 years from now, we'll be able to sit back and say, you know what? You remember 25 years ago?
That's right.
when
And
did this-
you know, and that's going to mean more to me because I have an 11-year-old son at home right now. 11
Not
years
11,
old.
11.
And and I told him, I said, you make me proud and mama going to make you proud. You understand? So it's deep. It's deep.
But you know, for real though, only thing I ain't see you do now. You do a lot of things now, DeeJenay. But I ain't never heard you sing.
No.
I believe the spirit, not the preacher.
Hold on
I'm
now.
just being real now.
Go ahead and cut
I'm
it.
just being real now. You
It
got
ain't
to
going to
do
be
it.
no.
Well, you ain't got to.
Listen, go ahead and cut it off.
Grab it,
Good
give me a hand.
night.
Give me a hand. I
We're-
believe the children of the future.
Listen,
Teach them well.
Sing
Let them lead the way.
that is.
All in all, I look into the children eyes.
Sing it, man.
Come on, DeeJenay.
No, hey,
Give
When you're
them
rolling over
a
our grave.
sense.
listen.
He got to put his own words on the
Hey,
song.
See, that was,
It's real,
listen,
though.
that was a trick.
It's real.
Because people know that I can't sing now. I can do a lot of things,
Nah,
but singing ain't it.
I don't sound like
They say all black
I
folks
don't
sing.
sound
No,
like
that's a lie.
you
Definitely is a lie. I can't sing. Now, I ain't finna make y'all think I can sing. I
Shower
can't sing.
sing, then
No, listen. If I
Don't let
sing, it
fools
ain't gonna be on live.
no.
It
Don't
ain't
let
on
her
live.
fool you now, DeeJenay. They can sing now.
That's
She
a
just
lie.
don't want to sing.
You can't hype me up for it. I
All
ain't
in all, I
sing.
look into the children.
Right.
Boy, you
Give them
get
some
it
pride, man. But I'm telling you, hey, that's what we got to be worried about.
That lady turning over in her grave.
Hey, I'm telling you.
They messed up so.
But see, from now on, I say remix and Puff Daddy. But yeah, but that's what's up though. Well, DeeJenay, hey, we appreciate you coming on out. Any last words that you want to say for the camera, for the viewers, for the people who watching? Last words.
Last words. Well, I just say that I appreciate, and you know you all, I thank you all the time. I thank you all for the love, the support, the prayers, all of that. That means so much to me, more to me than you can imagine. Keep them coming. You remember what I told you all, them special prayers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Read between the lines. We in this thing, I will stand for what's right. I got it on tonight. I will stand for what's right.
Well, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Hey, well, Will said, and now we'll go to the commercial break before we leave. Hey, make sure that you tune in to all the Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 1 up to 57. You can go to YouTube and just search Barbershop Stories. You can go to the fan page, Comedic Narrator. That's Comedic Narrator, Benny Mac. Then you can catch them there. Also, too, we got a lot of shows, a lot of events coming up. Make sure you tune in to V949 Home Team Morning Show. Comedic Narrator, Haircut Slanger, Benny Mac, that's myself. Drika the Eyelash Diva, Home at J. We on Monday through Friday, 6 to 10. Also, too, if you in the Atlanta area, catch me with internet sensation All-Stars, Terry Melissa, Dadass and Melissa over in Atlanta at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. Also, if you're in the Dallas area, catch me at One Love Lounge with Cooley Ward, Oscar P, Chris G. That's November the 7th. Also, too, if you are in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, catch me there. That's on, I want to say the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Also, if you're in the Nashville area, catch me there. If you're in the Huntsville area,
Man,
catch me
look at
there.
that, man. Look
You know
at
what I'm saying?
that.
So, and then, of course, if you right here in Birmingham,
Right.
catch me November the 21st at Roos Place. Got Cooley Ward, got my homeboy from Denver, Colorado, Mona Jonesy, and, of course, comedian Boomerang, and, of course, Drika the Eyelash Diva. She'll be co-hosting on there. We got K1. He's going to be on the camera. We got DJ Magic Mike on the ones and twos. Shout out to Amy there. Shout out to DeeJenay. Shout out to Herman for coming through in our studio audience. Shout out to the beautiful lady over there with that sharp hairdo over there holding that old bug juice over
Well,
there.
babe.
Shout out to her. Shout out to my homie Sammy No Nose. And of course, we are real true barbers too. So it ain't just Barbershop Story. This is a barbershop reality. We are open 7 days a week. that man there, he'll hook you up. Myself, I'll hook you up. And Corey, he'll hook you up too. So make sure you stay in tune. The website is BennyMaxOnFirst.com, or check it out at BennyMax205.com, or all social media, Benny Mac, Sammy No Nose, and you make sure you stay tuned. We are out. We appreciate you for tuning in. We'll see you next week with Madam Mika. Madam Mika. She gonna come in talking about them old cat steamers and all what she do too. No? Hey. Yeah, Madam Malik. What's that? No, so I just call her just Mika. You know? Okay. Amy corrected me, Madam Malik. Yeah, I gotta be correct. I gotta enunciate my words. But yeah, so y'all make sure y'all tune in to Barbershop Stories, the podcast, episode 58. We'll be back same time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are out.
Hey, y'all subscribe, baby.
Yeah.
Y'all see what we on. Nice. That combo.